I was in Miami interviewing Grant Cardone. You're familiar with Grant Cardone?
We all know Grant Cardone.
So Grant Cardone, you can think of him what you want. Not you, but whoever's listening can think of him what you want. He's a polarizing figure in so many ways. I've learned more love him, but those that hate him, whew, they hate him. They really hate him. So I'm sitting down at his studio after having done, say, 40 hours of research on the guy, right? He's not even in the room yet. Not even in the room yet. We walk into his office. You ever been there? Have you ever been to his
No,
office in
I have not.
Miami? My first time. The security guard walks us in, and the dude sounded like Grant Cardone, and he acted like Grant Cardone in a good way, like very gracious, bubbly kind of guy. Brings us in. Me and my we had a videographer, and I had like a special co-host, if you will, for that episode, that arranged the meeting. So we go in. The security guard's just like, he's talking to us, really like, can I get you water? What can I do? Bathroom? Let me take you to the bathroom. Really great guy. The receptionist, same thing. We walk into his bullpen, and this is like all of his salespeople, like in these little cubes, really vibrant spot. They're all waving. They're on the phone, and they're like, "How you doing?" Blah, 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 blah. Every one of them, like this. It's like Cardone manifested in all of them. You go into his studio, and his videographer, Johnny, who's been with him 9 years, I learned from talking to him. Man, this guy would kill for Grant Cardone. Like this, he's amazing. After the interview, Johnny's telling me, like, dude, he usually graciously cuts people off. He would have gone longer if you didn't stop. I'm like, yeah, but his assistant came in. He's like, no, I get why you did, but like, he loved it. It was great. Blah, blah, blah. Like, let me get you an intro. Let's do an intro. He's like, whoa, right? So I'm sitting there like, holy shit. Then I have the interview with Cardone. And when I listen to Cardone talk about what he does, how he does, and I'm looking at the operation of Cardone 10X, the whole nine, right? Cardone doesn't do anything. He doesn't do anything in those businesses. Everything is done for him. What his people know is, whoa, this guy's a force of nature, personality wise, and his ability to create culture and motivation within his organization is not tactical. Don't ask him to, sit in on employee discussions. Don't ask him to do performance evaluations. That's not what's going to build the culture. Don't ask him to even tactically come up with, how you compensate or do anything. Like, he's not going to fire anybody. He's not going to hire anybody. We want to create the entire room, gas in his car, seat warmed up, coffee at the table. Everything's done. Just put the guy in the room and it'll rub off. And holy fuck, it rubbed off. So now I'm looking at it like, wait a minute. This guy doesn't eliminate writing books. He doesn't eliminate his podcast. He doesn't eliminate traveling. He doesn't eliminate 10X Ventures. He has 22 businesses, 12,000 units. He's doing everything, but he's eliminating his role in everything. He's hiring amazing people. So that was like a major mind fuck for me. Like, okay, I went from, I have to shut it down. And now I'm like, no, I need to shut down anything I'm doing in these businesses, which all have value and all have proven concepts. People are paying us, right? Like, even on a small level, people are paying us. I have to eliminate my role as anything other than whatever the hell my zone of genius is. And I believe my zone of genius, and this is going to sound arrogant, but I don't mean to, is like a Cardone. I have energy. I love the one-on-one. Like, put me in a room and I love having it. Even at my job, I would have great discussions with employees, man. People loved me. I hated the logistics. I hated writing an evaluation. I wasn't good at it. I was terrible at firing people. I did it a dozen times. I developed a thick skin and did it, but not me. Just let somebody else do that shit, right? So I've started to, in the last 3 or 4 months, build out. I have a great operations partner who I found at my job that used to work with me, and he doesn't want a job anymore. So he's doing like a 5 to 9 with me, and he's an amazing operator. So I'm doing stuff with him. That helps a ton. And he's even like, we got to build you out of everything. That is elimination for me now. That's how I'm building abundance. So long answer to this, but like your point about like, I got owned by the business. Like, I'm still there. I'm not going to like, oh, I figured it out. Not at all. But I've seen conceptually what it can look like. And now I'm like really passionate. Like, I got to clean up a bunch of shit it needs to be cleaned up. It's my own procrastination. But beyond that, man, it's like, how do I eliminate me from anything that I don't need to or even want to be doing and place myself in the right position for my gifts? So I don't know. Is that kind of where you went, what you're doing?
It's absolutely defining what I've spent the last 8 years building. And so there's 2018, I went out to Joe Polish's event, Genius
Oh yeah.
Network.
Yeah.
I'd been following. I felt like I needed something, a spark. I needed to be around people that thought bigger. I needed to have something outside the box. So I go out there, and I'm going into a business where at the time, the average age of a financial advisor is 62 years old, and they have no
No
step down.
shit.
They have no step down plan. They have no succession plan. So my goal was to do what I do, but then to go purchase and acquire and merge practices of retiring advisors, because understanding what's important to them, all these things was something I felt like I could connect with. And we did. So I go out to the first event. There's a panel of how to build your business and always have it ready to sell. And this is the panel. And the average person up there sold their business from anywhere between 50 million and $500 million.
Wow.
And one of the things that I don't remember who said it, I apologize because I'd love to give them credit, but I've been using it ever since, is that you have a choice in your business to be the God or a prophet. And if you're a prophet, it
Oh
will be
wow.
successful. If you're the God, it ends every day with you. So in a service business, lots of people become egocentric. I'm the only person that can handle this client. I'm the only person that can do this. Nobody can do this. And it's a shot to your ego to change the dynamic. And I had slowly started to change my mindset over the course of this, let's call it at the time 14, 15-year career. I had two full-time assistants. I had given a ton of stuff that was away from me, but I hadn't really put the right pieces in place. When we started the new business, and that was my first, this is 2 years into the business. So this is about the time that I'm overwhelmed, which we said we'd cover today, but I was overwhelmed. I was successful. I'm using air quotes for our listeners. So I was on paper earning way more than I did in my previous role, but most of it was phantom income, which means I was just being taxed on it and never actually receiving it. And I said, this changes today. And so
Mm.
we started to build out the models of not being, so every decision where I had to be the God, I wanted out. And that's how I started to lay out the business. And fast forward, we have a very, very functioning, scalable, process driven business that there are still things that I have to do. If it requires, I'm not Grant Cardone. I'm a long way from being that. I don't know that I want that. But I know that I have an energy that has to be harnessed and put in the right direction. And if used in the right
Well said.
way, it
Yeah.
is powerful,
Yeah.
more powerful than I understood. But when I go into a room, I want to pull the best out of everyone in the room. I want to help everyone. I want to learn everything I can. My give a shit factor is 1,000%. And
Mhm.
what at every moment in every conversation. And that can't be if you're making 27 decisions in a day. That
Agreed.
can't happen if you're the God of your business. You've created a bullshit business if you're the only one making the decisions. That is a very, very limited and scarce mindset. So that was probably the changeover. And everything you just said about Cardone was that culture of that's every Monday we have a Zoom call in our company where all of our back office, our core business, 25 people get on, and we do a Monday morning huddle, because we say life is my model, right? My life model. Life has to come before wealth. And if you don't prioritize life in your business, you're not prioritizing what's most important. So every Monday, we have a 30-minute to 45-minute. I don't give a damn if it takes 50 minutes. People care. I don't care.
Right.
And I'm like, hey, Jamie, what'd you get into this weekend? What's going on? Share with the group. Guess what that does? Every single person knows the other person. Every single person wants to work for the other person. They actually like the other people they're working with. They know their story. They know their struggles. And then on Fridays, we do wins and challenges. And the simple thing in our company that we started right around COVID in 2020, but 4 years later, this is one of those things where the culture, you see it changing. And if I'm not there, the calls and the Zooms aren't exactly the same, but I'm working to make sure that they're replicated. We never miss them. We always keep them. And there's a million things we do like that in our team. So yeah, I think there are times to eliminate, Jamie. I think there are times that we should eliminate something. If I find myself doing something I don't enjoy, which my assistant and I go through every year, hey, I hate doing this. I don't want to do it ever again. And I usually throw a temper tantrum that sounds like this. This is not my job. This is not my job. Why am I doing this right now? And I have to explain, I'm saying this to me. This is not to anybody else. This is Scott.
Right.
What the hell are you doing? You are wasting your time. You can help way more people, which is your mission in life. What are you doing wasting it on this stupid ass task?
I love
And
that.
that is, I mean, that's kind of, it speaks right to your point. If you like clips like this, I have a similar clip here. And if you want to watch the full video, click here.